So, hi everyone. This is the first official podcast slash stream of sorts. I'm going to be well. We don't have any hosts. We're all just doing it for fun. Anyway, I'm the owner of the stream, so to say. My stream name is Fakon, so you can call me that. And let's meet everyone. We have quite a quite many people joined by us today. So let's start with Admiral Pagattini.
Hello.
Hi. So maybe a bit of introduction to you. We can actually go with real names. Don't give out your last names, just your first name and so on. And
Sure.
maybe just say a couple of words about yourself.
I'm Neal, and I like airplanes.
That is lovely. And then the next person, I'm just going by the Discord chat. So the next person is me. I'm Hardy, and I don't know. I'm also known as Lieutenant Manbun. I am a lover of dancing and video games. So going on, Emperor's Sacrifice. Hi.
Hi, I'm Tarvi, and I like spaceships. If we're keeping to the theme of the the vehicle of choice that we like, then yes, I'm a spaceship boy.
Yes, vehicles that we like. My preferred vehicle is the Manbun.
Nice.
Nice, and yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Next up, Emilio, Handburglar.
Are you participating, Emilio? He's probably not. He's probably eating his McDonald's.
Okay, then let's continue with Moist Badger.
Hi. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Moist Badger, and today... Okay, anyway. Hi, I'm Oliver. My vehicle of choice is Dick, because I love riding it.
We're gonna get banned so fast.
Don't ban me, I'm fucking gay. No, seriously, I'm gay. I'm like, gay as fuck. Like, I love penis.
Now that we have established that,
Anyway, I'm Oliver. Hi, and then I'm a person. I don't know. I'm bad in introduction. I don't know.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Just you introduced enough, I believe.
Yes.
Anyway, and then we also have Andy. Andy, are you here?
Hello, fellow humans. I am Andi, and I enjoy basic human activities like video games and movies. My vehicle of choice is BMW.
No.
Dacia. I mean a Dacia.
Yes.
Okay, this is going great.
Pardon me.
Yeah, let's try to keep it a bit civil at least. I mean,
No.
sure. But, I know how everybody is in the regular world, how we interact with each other generally, but we can do it mostly in here as well, but just some things that maybe need to be held back, but, well, we'll learn as we go.
Anyway, moving on to actually interesting stuff. When the fuck did you get a second screen? You only have one. When the fuck did you get a second one?
You should be aware that I have also a TV monitor, a bullshit, not some shit TV screen, 32 inches. I've had it actually for a couple of years. I just didn't care enough to use it.
The fuck? Why would you not want a second screen? This is the best thing ever. I wanted the second screen at work, but they were like, "What are you gonna use it for?" I'm like, "For work." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they try to give me one, but because I'm using a laptop at work, there was no hole to plug it into or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't enough like input ports or something like that, so they couldn't do it. So I was like, "Damn it."
just a regular HDMI port. Every PC or
Well,
console
yeah,
will
no,
have that.
but like the one monitor uses up the HDMI port, and I don't have anything else because there's not like a USB based monitor. At least we don't have them at work if there is one.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
Don't most computers at our workplace run with the mini fucking display port?
I don't fucking know. You're the IT specialist. You tell me. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
just use your laptop.
Show me
Some
your-
video cards also permit the use of two monitors on the same video card. But
And he
some
lives.
some even do up to four monitors on the same
Well,
video card.
I
Just
don't
a
have
side note, this is Andy who just spoke, who was using the text-to-speech option
Hello,
earlier.
fellow humans.
And so continuing with the streams, go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt.
I forget what we're talking about. Moving on.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
So this particular stream is going to be like based around Trump's America. So if you're interested in politics and shit like that, or actually you don't even have to be interested in politics because I'm not fully aware of like what Democrats, Republicans, or whatever any of that is. I don't really care. I more like look at a subject and I kind of think about it, be like, this is stupid, or this is actually a good idea. I don't really bother to bog it down to like, oh, the Democrats are the ruling party and they're always messing things up. Like I don't really roll that way. I just kind of like look at something or not. Anyway, so today's topic is going to be about Trump's America and how they're separating children from parents, and apparently how much of an epidemic that is, and how much like well, I don't know, people are suffering from it, and this is a completely new thing, and this has never happened before, and then Trump is at fault for everything, and stuff like that. I mean, disclaimer: I don't really like Trump as a person. I think he's a vile piece of shit. But honestly, like, not everything is his fault. Like, you can't blame Hitler for global warming. I mean, that just wasn't his fault. As bad of a person he was.
I think.
Anyway, that's
Yeah.
what. What do you think?
I think
Don't hurt
that-
yourself.
Thank you. I think at this point, a good disclaimer is that while all of us are politically aligned to different sides with this issue, especially with immigration, we all always stand on the side of reason. And the side of reason is that this has been going on for years, and that obviously it isn't the fault of one president.
No, of course not. It just became actual in the recent week, I believe. But yeah, it has been an issue for quite a long time, even during the Obama administration. It's just that somebody fueled the fire, and now it is gaining more popularity during the Trump administration.
Because everyone loves bashing on Trump, right? It's a very popular thing to do. I mean, yeah, Trump's a piece of shit, and he's like not a good person or anything. But I don't think he would purposefully do something that would possibly get him impeached or something like that. So he's not doing anything that's completely inhumane or whatever. But anyway, that's what we're discussing today. So about immigration in general. So jumping straight into the topic and whatnot. So okay, so why is immigration even a thing? So apparently, some parties or some people or whatever, I don't even know who, apparently want to open up borders completely. There's going to be no borders, no nothing, just come and go as you please. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? So why would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, that would be complete anarchy. Because everybody can come and go. Do whatever they please, abuse the other country's, I don't know, prospects, whatever. And it would lead to some sort of, well, not some sort of, but definitely a lot of people getting hurt, a lot of people losing homes, etc.
I think. Okay, never mind. You go first.
Yeah.
Oh shit, who's that?
Who's
Hello.
that?
Tarvi, go ahead.
Okay, so I think the point to make against immigration is that definitely non-strict immigration laws can have some really bad effects, especially if we look at how for decades now, for 30 decades, 30 decades, 3 decades, how basically immigration has worked between the Mexican and the U.S. border. Especially as someone who is a member of the EU, I would not ask the U.S. to adopt any kind of like EU kind of system, because that would lead to very bad happenings.
How very quaint. I think the main thing about like immigration is money, though. So like my main issue with like undocumented like immigration or whatever is money. So like right now there's approximately like about like 10 or 11 million undocumented immigrants, or like at least illegal immigrants in the United States. Disclaimer, I'm from Europe, by the way. So these guys, like, they're not documented. So like under like no legal means, do they have to like pay taxes or like do their part or whatever. So like if they have a job, sure, they pay taxes off of that. But other than that, they don't really pay taxes, right? I mean, am I
Even if they
wrong?
have a job, they can't actually get a job legally, as they immigrated there illegally, so they're paid on the down low.
Oh, exactly, right. You're right about that. So like my main issue is like, that's like 10 million people who are not paying taxes, and that money could be used towards those establishments or whatever. Like what were those couple of like things that Trump shut down or whatever? Like I don't know, healthcare. I don't know, something he shut down.
Personally, I think taxes are fucking horrible, but if one person has to pay them, then everybody has to pay them. At least apply the same thing to everyone.
Right. It's like it's to me it's like that's 10 million people who are not paying taxes. Let's say hypothetically, like everyone earns, I don't know, like 1,000 per household, right? So that's like 10 million people who are missing out on that. That's like over $10 billion just gone like that. So that's a lot of money that could be used towards like, I don't know, like America's like defense budget, their healthcare, their like whatever. I don't know. There's like a whole bunch of things where money could go into, and it's just not going anywhere because these guys aren't paying taxes because they're getting paid under the table, and it's just I don't know.
They still benefit from public services because the police officer isn't going to ask you, "Hey, did you pay your taxes?" Or he's just going to save you. Or the paramedic, he's not gonna search your wallet to see if you're legal or not. He's just gonna save your life.
Right, exactly.
That costs the taxpayers millions, not billions.
Yeah, money is the main issue, to be honest. Like with immigration.
The issue is that it's someone else's money, and using someone else's money is easy.
Yeah, profiting. Like somebody, well, they profit off of the hardworking, regular American people.
I don't know what the whole immigration thing is in Europe. I heard Germany's pretty fucked up, and like Sweden's getting like a higher increase in violence and shit like that, and crime. I don't know if that's to do with the recent immigration from like the whatever countries they're immigrating from, but I read something about that. So like I don't know what the European Union is.
Oh no, it definitely has everything to do. Well, not everything. Obviously, there's still people from, let's say, France French people who do crime and so on. But yeah, sacre bleu.
Well, I mean, in Germany, it's obvious that the migrant crime grew, because if you bring a lot of people, some of them will commit crimes. That's just obvious. But the point is, bringing those people in might have not been such a good idea, specifically because so many of them commit crimes.
I think at this point it's important to make a distinction between immigrant and migrant. The European Union, for example, has a lot of migrants. Now, migrants are people who are accepted by the government into those countries in the form of disaster relief, terrorism relief, war relief, everything. Now, immigration is, as everyone probably knows, is basically the act of like applying to come to a country and basically like trying to get there not by the government's wishes, but through like a certain department of immigration, I guess.
Right. So like I guess your opinion is not doing that good on immigration, or sorry, migrantism, whatever the right term is. Point is people are going places illegally. So like so the whole reason like So how does I haven't actually looked into exactly how asylum works, but my thought would be so people from Mexico are being oppressed or whatever. I don't actually know what the conditions of the country are, but I'm guessing because people are going away from Mexico and going to the United States, I'm guessing living conditions aren't all that good. I'm assuming cartels and high crime rate have something to do with that, so they're seeking asylum in America, where law enforcement is a pretty big thing. So asylum, I don't think it works that way. So that you go to the border with yourself, your single mother, and your 2 sick children, and then you demand entry to the United States. I don't think it quite works like that.
The issue is that they are already illegally in the United States, and only when they are caught they say, "Oh well, we want asylum." That's the problem. They are already in there illegally. If they would ask at the border, not actually at the border, but at the border agents, they would just have to file the paperwork, and then the agents will say, "Come back in 2 weeks," and then they just have to come back with their family in 2 weeks. That's how it works. And
But now, hypothetically, let's say they don't have the 2 weeks. They have been threatened. Their house has been burned down, whatever. And when they go back, they will be killed. They don't have the 2 weeks to wait.
Tough luck. Life is really, really bad. Life is really bad. I'm from Romania. We're oppressed as hell. We have a migration deficit because we are minus 200,000 people this year or something like that.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, we run from the country, but it's not America's business to save us from this. Yeah, it's not their responsibility. If I'm good enough, sure, then maybe I can go to America and then I can be accepted there and just live like a regular American. But they don't have to save me from myself,
Just to intervene, I would like to actually get an opinion of an actual American who might have, some knowledge into this. So
yeah, Neal, you've been kind of quiet.
Neal, yeah.
Neal,
How do you feel about illegal Mexicans coming into your country? How do you feel about that?
Well, going back to the money issue, I don't much enjoy the idea of paying for something that someone else isn't using, or someone else is using, but without paying for it themselves. So that whole taking advantage of it kind of thing, I don't like that. That's.
Well, of course, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But any other views about it? How it could maybe work better? How it could be done better?
Immigration itself, or illegal immigrants, anything goes.
I mean,
Illegal immigrants could hide better.
yeah,
Oh.
they could find better hiding places.
They need to play more video games, so they would cop.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not versed enough in the subject to have an opinion on how it could work better.
Okay.
Well, okay. Take for example. So here's a good parallel. Why do I, as an Estonian, have to go through all this tedious process, pay about $4,000 or $5,000 to actually immigrate to the United States, and that may or may not even happen. They might just be like, "Oh, Oliver, you know what? I don't like your face. You're not getting in here." So why do I have to go through that whole process? And then someone else from Mexico can just be like, "I'm being oppressed," and then they just go in the country.
I have to say, I do hate that shit. It's really stupid. I mean, if you're illegal, get the fuck out. As simple as that.
Oh, hey, we got an illegal immigrant right here. Emilio, tell us more about how you tell us more about how you smuggled yourself into the United States in the back of a pickup.
No, it wasn't a pickup. It was a RAF.
I
put a RAF on the ground. Hey, this is what happened. I put a RAF on the ground, on dirt ground, and started pedaling with the row. And I got from Mexico to California.
Nice.
Cool. Nice.
Are you a leftist now? Or are you
I don't even know what I am. I hate defining myself as left, right. It's fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah, I don't
I just simply say, this is my opinion. I don't give a shit what I socialize with. This is my opinion. If you like it, I don't give a fuck.
Pretty much. So how did you actually get in though? How did you actually get in? Did your parents file?
My parents did this legally. We went through the entire process legally. I had to wait for my green card and all that paperwork. Right? I had to wait. I don't know, because I was 2 at the time. It was probably 5 months, 6 months. Came here. I came to Florida first, and then from there I moved to PA. That's where I lived for 14 fucking years, and then I came back to Florida because it's much easier.
Gross.
But at the same time, it kind of pisses me off to find out people can simply walk across the border and say help. And and America will take them, or they'll hide in America, and they become a fucking strain in the United States economy, because you need to pay, their fucking child support, health insurance, because they're illegal and shit, and they don't pay taxes. I work, I pay taxes. Where's my shit?
Honestly,
Fucking hail, Satan.
Honestly, though, it's true. It's true. Like, I hate the fact that Emilio over here has to go through the process. I have to go through the process because, I actually appreciate the fact that, I understand that immigration costs money. People who are doing all this paperwork and shit deserve to get paid for all their hard work and stuff like that. I understand why I have to go through it. So you can't just go to the border and be like, what's the Mexican word for help? What is it?
Ayuda.
Ayuda.
Ayuda! And then the border patrol be like, America, let's liberate the fuck out of them. And then they go over there and just like blow them in America. Like, no, that's not the fucking way it works.
So it stems so Cuba, a lot of Cuban refugees would come to Florida because of the was a fucking law. It was a wet foot, dry foot, where it was, from what I understood from my classes, is that if you have if you're on American soil, but you're also on the ocean, you're defined as in American property, or like the territory, and you can actually stay there. They would actually help you get your green card and everything done. Simply by doing the legal way, you get citizenship, which is good, because Obama took that away, which in a way I can see yes and no. Because I do feel for people who are coming from countries like, Cuba, as a communist fascist government. There's absolutely nothing left anymore. People want to get out of there. They want the government to fail. But at the same time, you try make yourself, have a better life in Cuba or any country, Mexico, fucking Guantanamo, South. I don't give a fuck where you're coming from. Just try to make a better life as much as you can.
Honestly, though, yeah, like the one of the main things is that people actually just go to the United States immediately. Why do you go to the United States? There are like 150 countries on Earth. Why is America like your number one go-to place? Like, why can't you just go to, like, I don't know, Brazil? Whatever is down south. My geography's not that good. Go to South America. Like it might not be like 100% better, but like, if you're running by like a fascist, like, I don't know, like a regime or whatever, anything could be better where you live right now. I don't know.
As a counterpoint to that, maybe that would really depend on the geographical position of where you are. So sure, maybe in some cases when you live down south and in the middle, it could be easier to go to Brazil. But if you're in the north of the U.S., not the U.S., Mexico, then of course you could, it's easier for you to go to the U.S.
I mean, in Mexico you have MS-13, but in Brazil you have just drug lords following you around with machetes.
Oh, machetes are scarier, obviously.
Have you seen the cuts they leave? They don't cut from the start.
Yeah.
The cuts open slowly.
They're not cuts. They're like gashes
Slices, yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah, gashes.
Gross.
Okay.
Either way.
So, does anyone have any final points? One thing that I don't know, Big B, I don't know if you agree with me, but one thing we should probably touch upon is like how the news sees this.
Oh God.
Depends on where you look for your news.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Google.
Like any major fucking news outlet, they're just fucking bunch of stupid shitheads. Like they're either right or left, and majority of them are
Yeah,
right.
exactly. CNN,
I don't know.
Fox,
I don't even understand who's left, who's right. They're Democrat. They're more of a Democratic thing. So obviously they're gonna have more of an opinion for, we have to help them. Like, okay, I understand that we have to help countries because America is, America will go first. But it's like at the same time, how far is America willing to go before we help our own people? Because we're always everywhere else, but not in our own country.
Yeah, and
When people here need jobs, someone else who's not even part of the country is getting a job. Fuck that. It should be America first. It should always be America first.
Should be, but it's not.
Yeah,
either way, according to news articles, from what I understand anyway, is that unless you hate Trump, you're a Nazi. Like, if you don't agree with political correctness, you don't agree with whatever today's society identifies as a gender or sex or whatever. Like if you don't condone the 70 genders or whatever there is, like you're immediately a bad person. You're a Nazi. You're a fascist. You're like all this good shit.
There is no
like,
limit of genders. Genders are infinite.
Yeah.
You're
Sure.
The
your
new
ass
one's
is infinite.
Apache. The next one's the Apache Tomahawk Destroyer. That's what I define it as. If you call me less, I will call you a Nazi.
Heck yeah.
But that's the thing. Like one of the biggest countries in the world has divided into two, and that can't work. There isn't just left or right, blue or red, or well, more better. There isn't just black or white, because right now this is what American politics is. If you're not black, you're white. If you're not white, you're black. If you're left, you're not right. So on. I'm not trying to be make a racist joke here. I mean, they say the American politics is right now consists of two sides.
Yeah. Sorry, just to interlude it. I think that really reminds me of another great empire that was in the start of the 20th century. And it was a little old cold place called the Russian Empire. Now, the Russian Empire, after World War One, was basically split into basically half, but politically, politically basically split into half. So you had two things. You had the Reds, which were the communists, and you had the Whites, which were the basically like, hey, let's keep our Russian country together. We don't really have to do this. So I personally feel like, looking at all of the historical signs, America could be shifting towards that way. Now, I'm not saying that I'm personally hoping it doesn't go as far as like, hey, American communism, yay! But like, it could go that way.
I feel like it's more like it's going to be eventually where the older generations look at us, the new generation, as retards, but then it's going to then the twist, and then the tides are going to turn, where it's the complete opposite, where in fucking 20, 30 years, where calling someone by their proper pronoun is the norm, and if you say he, she, you fucking you're looked as an outcast, and that's what I feel like it's going to become eventually. Or that's what American society is becoming. It's no longer he, she. It's all this stupid shit. It's like we can no longer simply say 1, 2. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20.
Yeah, and that's like that I cannot comprehend. This is catering to people's, I don't know what's the word for it.
Feelings. It's not about facts anymore. It's feelings.
No.
It doesn't matter if you prove someone wrong with facts. It's sorry, that hurt my feelings. You're wrong. I guess we've thrown out biology, fucking history, and everything because apparently, in just games, like you can see about the Battlefield 5 or 6, whatever it is. It's now becoming a fucking alternate reality of what actually happened. I mean, women were on the front lines in World War II. They were doctors or they were medics and nurses. I'm not saying that they didn't fight. I'm saying is that in some countries like Finland, Russia, they were in like sniper positions and special combat roles that didn't require them to be in the front lines exactly. So it's like we're tossing out so much shit out at this point. It's like what is real and what is not.
Well, that's America for today. I guess like made up like whatever gender you feel as. That when you wake up in the morning, you be like, you know what? I feel like I'm a female today. If you're trans, I get that. Like if you're trans, that might be an actual thing because I don't know any trans people myself. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with that because most trans people are kind of chill about it. They don't really they don't really like go out and like broadcast it like you can't say that I'm transgender. The cool transgender people keep to themselves, be like, hey, I'm actually, I actually don't feel like a man or whatever, cool, whatever. But like, if you identify as like these 16,000 billion trillion genders or 8 sexes or whatever, then, it's kind of losing. I don't know. I can't take it seriously. Like, something about that is just off.
Eventually, society norms for a man and a woman will completely change, as it has changed. usually in like let's go back to the 1940s or 1960s when it was the traditional role where men, or let's go a little bit 1920s 1930s, where men were working and women were at home taking care of the kids, and now it's completely different. And now I'm not saying I have a problem with like single moms taking care of their kids. Like if you can work and provide for your kids, that's something.
Oh,
When it becomes to the point where it's like these two gender not normal people taking care of, like, they're like, oh, I'm a man or I'm a girl. It's like, I don't know anymore. You wonder what society is becoming at this point.
oh, especially like like if you really do identify as like, I don't even know all the different genders, whatever, anything other than like he or she or whatever, then like, and you get like offended by the fact that like, okay, so be like, oh, did you hear that he did this or that, and then he or she comes over and be like, oh, you called me a he. I'm like, well, yeah, you look like a he. I don't actually know you. Be like, how dare you identify as female? Like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that if you look like a guy? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, you don't have like a big bubble over your head that says I identify as this, that, the third. Like, stop getting like offended over this shit.
The
Like,
problem,
like-
the problem is not them getting offended. Like, of course, it's a problem. They get offended. They get actual traumas. They can get actual PTSD from this shit, which is incredibly stupid. People should not get PTSD from this shit. But the problem is that they want the government to interfere here. They want the government to arrest these people. They want the government to find these people. They want these to be legal norms.
I think the First
Sort of
Amendment is
issue
like.
this
I think the First Amendment is like under.
It's
under
becoming
fire.
limited. It's literally
Yeah.
it's no longer freedom of speech with limited. Like, you can't scream fire in a fucking house or in a building or anything. Obviously, that's normal, but it becomes to the point of like the First Amendment is becoming absolutely obsolete. It's like if you say something wrong, it's no longer I have the right to speech and or the right to freedom of speech. It's you have the right to speak, but if it's something wrong, then you should be crucified. And the thing, I hope to fucking God, it doesn't become like Canada, where America says like these hate, like, it's really weird how laws can even be interpreted. Because if I say I'm a girl, I walk into the girl's bathroom, I can't get arrested because I define as a girl. But then what stops a fucking rapist going into the girl's bathroom and doing something like that? Like,
There should be more limitation than there is.
It should really come down to what you actually have. I don't give. It should be law. Should be what you have, and not what you say you are. Because at that point,
Biological fact, yes.
but
Yeah,
with
exactly.
biological facts.
My problem is that they're doing this to children, because the children are literally the future of society, whether people like children or they do not like them.
I feel like that's targeted at me.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
the thing is, you know that most children who show signs of gender dysphoria, who think they're a boy or who think they're a girl, even though they're the opposite, we know that most of these, by the time they hit puberty, they actually believe their biological gender, their biological sex. Some of these do not, but I do not believe that the fix for these is to encourage their mental disorder. I think this should still be treated as something that is a disorder, not
Exactly,
as
yes.
something that
Yeah,
should be
gender
encouraged.
Because it is a mental disorder.
Yeah, it is
I mean,
classified as gender dysphoria.
the problem
and it's
is
a
that-
serious problem.
There are a very small percentage of people who are actually gender dysphoric. The problem is that they are highly suicidal. I think the numbers were about up to 70% of those who underwent surgery ended up killing themselves. No, it was probably something a bit smaller than that, but yeah, still pretty crazy.
Well, that is a really high amount, and loss of life is
Incredibly high amount.
and loss of life is something that's terrible. Killing themselves like over, I don't know, but I'm not sure what I'm.
Killing themselves over something like a misunderstanding, someone not understanding that, oh, I don't feel like the gender I am. Well, that's not their own fault. They didn't know that. You didn't put that label out there for them to see. They
Yeah,
see you as a
exactly.
man because that's what you appear to be, but now you're going to kill yourself because I don't know.
Because you feel like a woman.
You can't. I'm the most awful person to talk to about like suicide, because like I don't know. I think I'm a little like I don't know what's the right term. Sociopathic. I don't know. Either way, like I don't really care much about like the loss of life or whatever. I just kind of look at things rationally. Like if you're gonna kill yourself something over something like that, I don't know. I kind of have to say that something's wrong. Like why would you kill yourself over something like that? Like I understand if you're like confused that you don't know what to identify as or whatever. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, like if you want to kill yourself, I mean that's a little drastic for over something like that. Maybe just sit down with a professional, go to like I don't know, talk to like a psychiatrist or whatever, or a psychologist or whatever. Kind of talk to them, see what they think, because they spent years in the like field of medicine and mental illness and mental health, and maybe they can provide some enlightenment to you. Maybe that will kind of like prevent you from having to resort to like the most like end all game, which is
extreme count of having surgery, like reproductive correction, or was it sexual reproduction corrections? Whatever it's called nowadays.
Sexual reassignment, I think is
That's what it was. I think it's called correction because you're correcting your sex.
There are over what 25,000 biological differences between men and women. Simply snapping your penis off will not make you a woman, and putting yourself and putting both
No, of course not. Yeah.
injecting yourself with hormones.
Because at the
You're
end of
just
the day,
lying to yourself. It's even worse.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not what you actually have. It's based on genetics. It's your XY chromosomes and shit.
It goes down to biology, which you cannot change just because you feel different.
Yeah. Just to spin that around into more of a topic that's like more bread and butter to all of us.
Hello.
How do you feel about that kind of like culture and that kind of societal thinking penetrating gaming?
Penetrating. I
Hot.
Hot. Yes.
What do you mean?
My choice of words was perfect for this.
What do you mean by you mean like women being in like, for example, the Battlefield 5 thing?
Yeah.
I think it's stupid as shit.
Oh my god! Please stop.
Like
stop.
I said,
For
I think-
historical reasons, since it's based on World War II, these kinds of things may have happened, but they weren't as common an occurrence to put it in a video game like that.
Yeah, and they weren't documented as such.
No.
There are, like, for example, there are cases like I remember hearing that there was a tank commander or a tank. Was it her husband died? Her husband died fighting in the Battle of Stalingrad against Germany. So she sold everything and she became a tank commander. She sent a letter to Stalin. It was a true story. I actually read about it. And so, in that exception, okay, yes, women did fight in line of combat as a tanker, which is not so much as as an infantryman.
A tanker. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right word.
No.
Tank crewman.
Tank commander, maybe?
No, she was a tank. I forget if she was a commander. Or
She was a
tank.
tank.
I think she was
Tank operator.
Tank thick as fuck.
Yeah,
Tanker.
let's go with tank operator. I think that's the
tank
best one.
crewman. We'll just go with tank crewman.
Yeah,
She was
tank
part of the
crewman,
crew.
whatever. Yeah.
So yes, in that exception, that was real. If they were to put it, let's say they were to make, I don't know, a mission where you played as her or something. Okay, that's not a problem because that actually happened. But like in the trailer where you have a fucking female running with a Thompson with a prosthetic arm, like I don't think prosthetic arms or even just generally that type of surgery was even available at the time. And sure, especially being a female, your expectation was not to fucking fight. In fact, it was for you to work and actually to be home taking care of the kids as the husband and the father was fighting.
I'm really happy with the way the game went because I fucking hate historical shooters already. There have been so many of them, and I don't want them in the Battlefield game. Sure, in the Battlefield or Call of Duty type game. Sure, if this isn't historically accurate, then the people who wanted the historically accurate shooter can just not buy it. It's that easy. And people who just wanted a shooter in their own universe, then just buy it and play it.
I think
then you're missing out on the market.
Yeah. Basically what Andy said.
That's how you regulate the market. If you don't like this, just don't buy it. Easy.
I think that what they could have done to salvage it from a now I'm not saying they like it's been a disaster because it's a Battlefield game. People are gonna buy it. But what I think personally, what they could have done is they could have shifted away. If they were gonna put a trailer like that out, they could have shifted away from the thing they did in Battlefield 1, which is like yes, this is historically accurate. Please play our game. And like, if they just would have like in at E3 or like at the end of the trailer would have gone like, hey guys, this isn't really historically accurate. We're just doing this because it's cool. Then the playing field would have been leveled. Like no one would be complaining about, oh yeah, but there's like amputee women in Battlefield.
Oh no, people would still be complaining, but yeah, exactly. I get your point. They're forgetting that this is a work of fiction.
Yeah.
This is not based on exact like okay, it's based on some historical events, but it's not a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Why do you get so mad over it?
Also, don't make her ugly. Do you know why men like muscular men and beautiful women? Because they also look very fucking healthy. They look really healthy to us, and we enjoy seeing healthy individuals for mating.
Andy.
They also need to bring that back in video games.
Andy, I don't know about you, but I would smash her.
Make smash. Make smash.
I
Make
wouldn't.
it smash.
It's up to anybody's taste, you know. But
I know
just
I
bring
wouldn't.
back boobies in tennis.
But that's sexist,
Oh.
Andy. You can't have sexism in a game. Come on, it's 2018.
Sexism is part of life. You know, I mean, that's it.
No, yeah, I
I
agree with
experience any
Andy.
part of life in video games.
Okay,
I like
ladies,
my video games to be realistic,
ladies,
but have fantasy.
ladies. Okay, how the fuck did we go from Trump's wall to like biological mating with healthy individuals?
Just wanted to say one thing about communism, so we can leave that subject to die. The problem, in my opinion, is that these people do not like calling themselves communists. You know, the feminists, the BLM, and everything, but they push for communist or at least very heavily socialist policies, and they don't deny this when pointed out. You know, when they're like, "Oh, you're just a Marxist," they're like, "Yes, I am, but maybe Marx was good." But they somehow believe that simply because they are these very special individuals, they are themselves, they are who they want, they are by gender, they are gender curious, that they will be able to bring something good out of their version of communism. But you know, if some of the most intelligent people in the world, because Marx, fucking Lenin, fucking Stalin, all of these people, they were highly intelligent individuals. They were all academics, highly revered in what they did. They knew what they were doing. And they didn't bring communism by yelling for it. They just brought it. So if they're that good at communism, why don't they just bring
Yeah.
it? Why don't they
bring
just
I think
do it?
that hi cat. Fuck. Where was I going? I was trying to like kind of sum this up into gaming, but then my question
Sum this up. Different opinions. We should go back on the topic because we
Yeah,
start off by saying like children being separated. We went from like immigration to having sex with healthy individuals. Like what?
Well, yeah, but we established that this podcast is going to be pretty much us rambling about shit.
I know.
We will end up on completely off-topic topics. But yeah, we should at least try to be on topic as much as possible.
All right.
Guys,
All right.
please tell me how much the Warhammer universe is about colonization
Donald Trump 2020.
and God Emperors.
We're not talking about the God Emperor today, son. He's gonna have to
Goddamn.
take a rain check.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I did a little bit of research. So talking, okay, let's actually go on topic now, because we're gonna like start wrapping things up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So talking about like how Border Patrol or ICE, or well, ICE stands for
ICE.
Immigration
ICE,
Customs.
Nice, baby.
Nice.
What the hell's that stand
Immigration
for?
Custom Enforcement.
Immigration
Yes.
Customs Enforcement?
What did I say? Shut the fuck up.
Vanilla
Anyway,
Ice.
what? That's racist. Don't say that. Anyway, talking about immigration and how they're separating children at the border or some shit like that. So, okay, so apparently, according to the news, is that Trump's
God.
America is literally ripping them apart. They're complete like leaving children like without their parents, and then like forever and ever, and then the like parents will be shipped back to Mexico, and they'll keep the children, and I don't know, some other like stupid shit like that. But is that really what's happening? I don't really think so.
So what I've read, because I haven't really read too much into it, because I just don't care.
You can't read.
Yeah, no, right.
Small words
how to
hurt you,
read.
Brain.
Anyways, what I read is that actually Trump, on the contrary, Trump actually did an executive order yesterday, I believe it was,
yes, that's correct.
to end that separation. And in a way, in a way is that, goddamn,
Get the dick out of your mouth.
The parents could technically, I guess, make a legal. I don't know through their government or I don't know what the process would be, but I believe they could make a legal claim to have their kids sent back to Mexico because if they are, let's say for Mexico, for example, if the parents are Mexican citizens, they can just have the kid come over and receive Mexican citizenship because of birth or because the parents, it would be inherited through the parents.
They ask for asylum for them and the child. That's the problem. If they would choose to just go back to Mexico, they could just all go back to Mexico then together.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you ask for asylum, the parents have to stay in a holding cell or some sort of holding place, and you cannot keep the baby in jail. That's inhuman.
See, there's the thing. So apparently, people were complaining about children being kept in the same detainment area as what the parents were because it was kind of like a bad condition. Like when you're put in jail for illegal immigration, you're not supposed to have a comfortable life. You're really not. Like it's not that you come over there and you get a 4-star hotel and then you spend like a month or up to 6 months there until like ICE or Border Patrol or immigration or whatever figures out what to do with you. That's not the way it's supposed to work. You're supposed to put in a very uncomfortable area so you're not going to do it again. That's kind of the idea anyway, but it's just going to happen again anyway. And the people who were complaining about it a couple of years ago under the Obama administration was that people were like, children would keep being kept in those same ill-kept areas or whatever, and people were complaining about that. So what I think Obama did was that he separated them. So Obama kind of like put them separately, so children have their own area. They're put in like foster homes or I don't know, something like that. They're not kept in the same area, so they're given better living conditions. And then the parents will have to go through the bad area or whatever. And then, Trump actually did something different. He actually put the parents back together again. But I don't think the idea of complaining about that is never to actually be satisfied with whatever the president decides, like whether we're going to like have them together or separate. I think the main issue is that they're gonna complain until finally immigration will be just like completely open to everyone. Everyone can be just allowed into the country and stuff like that. And I think that's the main thing that like what those ones who are complaining are actually trying to aim for. And it's actually pretty fucking stupid. Why the fuck would you just like randomly let people into the country because they're separated from the children? No. We already covered the immigration topic.
Yeah.
Think about it like this: in Romania, our beggars are let's call them Indian beggars. They ask for money to feed their children. Then they take a few €100 out of their pocket. They put the money you gave to them, and they're like, so much money. They put it back, and then they're like, please give me money. My child is starving. That's the same thing. Those people are lying. The conditions, however bad they are, they're obviously going to lie to try and get better conditions, to try and get media attention, to go places, They just want to get into America for free and just get money and just get taken care of by other people and with other people's money.
Something that's in effect right now, or actually, I'm not sure if it's in effect right now, but there is something that's called what was it called? Stop and catch or something, or catch and go, catching something. Basically, what it meant is that there was catch and release. There we go. So basically, what that means is that people are like, this was let's see here. White House released a statement on the 2nd of April. I'm going to put this in my podcast chat so you can open it up and show it on screen. So basically, the White House released a statement exactly like what people need to know about the catch and release program. So basically, what it means is that people are being catched, like if they're undocumented in America, they're released, they're given court dates, and they're let go. And of course, a grand majority of those people don't show up for court, so they stay there illegally, and that's fucked up. Like that's what's like messing up like this whole immigration process. Like nothing is working. This catch and release program clearly isn't working. If only about like 60% of them go to court. Like it doesn't. It just doesn't work. This is like I understand this was a step to try to kind of like make this work, the whole immigration process without the whole like people are seeking asylum or whatever, kind of give them a chance to go to court and kind of present their case like, oh, I'm being oppressed, I don't know, cartels demanding money from me, I feel endangered, I don't want to die, stuff like that. Understandable, but then like what about the other people who are just there like, I don't like it here in Mexico, I'm gonna go to the United States, and then they just stay there like that's.
Guys, I just found the...
But is your opinion the same
Sure.
when you take into account the fact that when Trump was young, he wanted to grab a female by their sexual organs?
Well, grab them by the pussy. You can say it like he's.
I don't care about any vagina grabbing. I do dick
Grab 'em by
grabbing,
the
so I don't
kidney.
really care.
It
What?
says here, as a result, I just found this small segment, so I haven't really read the entire paragraph. It says, only as a result, only 3.5% of the UACs who are apprehended are eventually removed from the U.S. Only 3.5 people who are apprehended actually are removed.
What
USA
happens to
stands.
the other 0.5 people?
USC stands for undocumented. Shit, what are they called? Unaccompanied children.
Unaccompanied alien children.
Right, alien children. Right, that's what it stands for. But either way, like this whole topic was this whole like kind of article was based around like children mostly. But it's still kind of like it gives you some insight into catch and release and stuff like that. And then
That really makes you ask questions about the journalists who wrote it,
why?
because it's all about children.
But it mostly is about children.
But it is about children. What?
It's about them being separated from their parents and not being well.
I was joking on the stereotype that the media is made of Jewish pedophiles.
Guys.
Oh my god.
Talking
Okay.
about. Okay. Fine.
Go ahead.
Fine.
Yeah, go
Continue. No.
No, we.
Talking about the.
What do you want,
JQ is very sensitive.
Oh no. No. Talking about the current topic, which is like Trump separating children. I just discovered on Facebook that Amnesty.org had basically shared a link of like. Okay, so the title is "Tell Trump Stop Punishing People Seeking Asylum." And then the subtext, which like doesn't pan out because I need to sign up for that bullshit, is it takes just 10 seconds to sign our petition and demand that Trump puts an end to, stop punishing people seeking asylum. Well, the problem that we discussed previously is that like this is from 2014. This is since the Obama administration. So like.
Yeah, they're all ancient. They're like all this has already been in place since the Obama
Obama
administration.
did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Well, Obama is a very nice person. I really like Obama. Like I don't actually know any like much about his presidential successes or whatever, but I still very much like him
What
as a person.
successes?
I think. Well, I'm sure. Well, gay rights, for example, like gay marriage is now legal. So he did that. It was pretty
You
good.
shouldn't have rights.
Yes, I know, right?
None.
Deport them too. Fuck them.
Yes,
Or
deport
the
them too.
Gayland.
Gayland, yes. No, but there's actually like shit. What do I have here? So apparently, like so Jeff Simmons, who is apparently the Attorney General and the director of well, he's an Attorney General basically, and he just said that they're putting a zero tolerance policy on being coming illegally to the United States. And then what he's also doing for people who are already existing there, so if you are put in a detainment camp or whatever, so like if you're in a detainment camp or whatever, I actually forgot to take the source for this, but if you are there, then basically what they're trying to do, they put 35 prosecutors and 18 immigration judges next to the border. So basically to prevent clogging or whatever in the whole like process, so people don't have to sit in detainment centers for whatever, for like forever, then he put proceed their cases or whatever. So if they are seeking for asylum, then there are people there, like more people there now who can deal with them. So you can't say that like the Trump administration is not doing anything to actually help these people. Like they are doing something to kind of help the situation. Like it's not an ideal situation by any means, but at least they're trying. They're doing something. So I don't know, but like people who bash on Trump all the time, like I get it. Like some of the stuff that he does, or actually majority of the stuff he does, maybe is questionable. Might not be the best solution, but at least he's trying at least a little bit. So but either way,
got flooded, so he could at least stop sending those weather rockets towards us.
fuck.
Someone's Facebook is really ringing after that conversation. They're coming for you.
I don't have friends.
Anyway, okay, so that's really all I have to say about that. So about like separating children from their parents or whatever. So really, the main thing why they're doing it is to have them not have the same conditions as their parents. Parents should condition children a little bit better. But like in the end, like, does everyone here know what the solution is to not have yourself be separated from your child?
don't come to America illegally.
Hey, we got it! All it took was 2 seconds to come up with that rational fucking solution. If you don't want to be separated from your children, don't come here illegally. File the paperwork. I understand if you're in a rush or whatever. Like, I get it. You might be in a tough situation, but fucking come here. Like, go to the United States legally, like I am, like Emilio did. We're going there legally. We're spending all this time to go there. Like, just go through the legal channels so that you won't end up on this like Amnesty.org newsfeed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually
disclaimer: Oliver isn't here yet, but he's put in the money, so he's like 85% there.
That's what I said. I'm immigrating to the United States.
He's mailing parts of himself, first an arm, and he just sews it all back.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, end all. Like my final thoughts. I guess we'll go with one by one. Like I guess. So my final thoughts on the matter: immigration. If you don't want to get separated from your children and complain about it on CBC or CNN or like Amnesty.org, then don't go to the United States illegally. That's really the solution here. Does everyone agree with that, or any other opinions?
Yeah,
There's
certainly.
processes in place for this for a reason, and if you choose to not go through those processes, then you can't be surprised when you get arrested or sent to jail or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like walking into your neighbor's house and telling them you're staying there forever. You're
Yeah,
not gonna leave.
it's exactly what it's like.
Give me a room. I need a room.
Yeah, you can't expect. It's like if you ask them, like, "Hey, can I stay here for a night?" Okay, maybe, but they're gonna kick you out the next day. So if you want to stay there for political asylum, even though it's not political asylum, because to actually achieve that shit, I think you have to be like what is it, Edward Snowden? He was being prosecuted here, so he went to Russia. That's correct political asylum.
Disclaimer: if you're a neighbor of my house and you come seeking asylum in my house uninvited, I'm gonna shoot you.
He doesn't have a gun, but he's gonna shoot you.
I will get a gun. I will fucking get a gun. I will shoot you if you try to come into my house uninvited. Like I don't fucking know you. Get out of here.
No.
Mexicans kind of need asylum because let's not forget that the animals at the MS-13 have the motto "kill, rape, and control."
Oh Jesus.
Let's not veer on the topic of cartels and everything just yet. We can do it in the future podcast.
Yeah.
When we all have to research them thoroughly before we actually.
Oh, I do know one thing. MS-13. I saw a Snapchat story from an LAPD police officer. There was actually like a broadcast made on their dashboard.
They're really good guys. They made the barbecue for pregnant women.
What the fuck? Anyway. So there was a broadcast made on their like internal computers, like their mobile data computers, that MS-13 put a hit out on all New York police officers. So basically, it was an open hunting season for all MS-13 members on New York police officers, and then we'll get paid for that. That was pretty fucked up. Like that is messed up. So these motherfuckers need to be put down. They need to be fucking euthanized like immediately. Like all of them just put fucking down like animals.
Yeah.
Anyway. So before we go on that topic, we'll just stop there.
Yeah, we'll get some research done.
Anybody else got something else they want to say?
Trump 2020. Make America great again.
Don't forget to go in your local voting booths and vote for President Donald Trump.
Also buy Death Stranding. Pre-order that shit.
But yeah, on a serious note, yes, I agree. Trump is an idiot, and he's a blithering idiot, like spewing bullshit out of his mouth. But that was, I think, at least a step in the direction, not necessarily the right direction, maybe to according to some people, but he took that step.
He did something. He's doing something.
I think every now and then when he says something stupid, afterwards he says something smart or a good idea. So mainly it's just shit, but sometimes you can find the small little rocks and shits right.
It's better to try and fail than to just sit on your ass 8 years and just say we'll change everything.
That's true.
Yeah, like
hello,
like
the Democrat Party.
I don't know what that means.
Next podcast, we should talk about the political spectrum in America and how
we should talk about that because I would like to get educated on the subject because I don't know shit about it.
How about the next podcast we talk about video games or something?
No.
No, that would be boring.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk about video games.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine.
So how do you guys like the totally realistic Battlegrounds? It was such a good game. Oh my god, I just
oh my
totally love it.
god. Okay.
No,
Okay. Okay.
I think we can end
Good
this now.
point.
Cut. I'm the director. Cut.